Look at the bright side. You have that outdoor refrigerator for Thanksgiving Day because you have too much stuff to go in your fridge. Just put it outside if it's nice and cold.
Yes, we've been talking about the cold turkey for about 10 days now. Everything looks on track.
For the cold turkey?
Yes, for the cold turkey. It does seem that we will get a little snow around here. I don't want anyone to panic, though, because...
It's the refrigerator part.
There's the refrigerator part, right. And also, it's just going to be a little bit of slick travel. So I think just being aware of the forecast is really all you need to prepare for right now. Let's get started tonight. Live Power Doppler's been tracking the skies. Really, the fog has been the main concern across the area today. Still limited visibility in most locations, but we'll see that improving overnight tonight. We won't have quite the dense fog that we had last night. So some patchy areas, but it's not going to be horrible. Visibility right now is improving along the lakefront in northwest Indiana. We still have reduced visibility there. These are current numbers, about a mile or so in Aurora, further out in the valley and also into DeKalb. Temperatures or visibilities are still about a mile there as well. Patchy dense fog on the fog predictor tonight through 8 o'clock, but by about midday, it's just clouds affecting the area. Tomorrow, a front's going to slip into the area by the afternoon, and that will bring us the chance for rain. Until then, just clouds. Michigan Avenue camera, you can see we've seen some improvements here. Earlier today, the buildings were all fogged in, so at least we're getting a little bit of visibility improved for the city. Michigan Avenue all lit up. If you're able to come down to the Festival of Lights, a record crowd. It was pretty impressive over the weekend. 45 right now for O'Hare. 86% humidity, and the east winds are very light at about 3 miles an hour. Mid 40s in most locations. Aurora down to 36, and where we get the clearing and the fog is out of here, temperatures will fall into the 30s. That'll be the case just middle to upper 30s in the area tonight, but warm air waiting in the wings, and we'll have a southeasterly wind tomorrow before that front comes in. So we should get back into the upper 40s, maybe even near 50 degrees before the front gets here. Once the front comes through late tomorrow in the afternoon, evening hours, this will be our chance to get a little bit of rain in here. So if you're traveling on Tuesday, expect late day showers to develop, and even into early Wednesday we could see some rain. The enhanced satellite picture shows that moisture back there dragging from Minneapolis all the way back to North Platte. On the futurecast, the rain is in here late tomorrow, and then it continues pretty much through Thursday evening, at least the moisture. On the back side of the system, though, we get the chance for some snow around here. We've been watching the storm analysis machine to see just how that rain will, or the snow will develop. You can see right here the storm. It's an area of low pressure. On the back side of it now, just a little bit of snow. If we take this into the future, and I put the timing as Wednesday at 10 a.m., the low will move to the north of Chicago, and it pulls down some colder air. There's plenty of moisture there, but it'll be a mix of rain and snow combined. And then the storm should end with a little bit of snow. We aren't expecting a whole lot to stick, so just be aware of the forecast. If you're going to be doing some traveling, could be a little slick at times, but we're not expecting it to stack up. Let's call it more wet than white around here. Wednesday through Thursday evening, really Wednesday midday through Thursday evening. So showers will continue, but look at these numbers. 46 on Wednesday, Thursday an optimistic 40 degrees with that snow mixing in. By Friday, 41. Saturday temperatures are in the mid 40s, and our overnight lows to the freezing point right at 32 degrees. By early next week, that cold air does look like it settles into the Chicago area.
It had to happen at some point.
That's all right. Back to normal temps. Thank you, Amy.
All the 10 days trend a little bit later. Okay. All across the Midwest, fairly uniform air, and that's what we wake up to again tomorrow. This will allow our temperatures to easily get into the 50s tomorrow. It's going to feel a lot warmer around here. The satellite radar picture, look at that low. It's going to spin right off to the north and east, leaving behind drier skies for us and also warmer temperatures. So this will be an improvement in the forecast. One thing you should be aware of, though, we've been checking out the enhanced satellite pictures tonight. Where the clouds do thicken up tonight, we could get some isolated fog. So I cranked up the fog predictor, but it looks like mainly it'll be inland fog, and I think it'll be patchy at best. Some of the places out in the western suburbs, maybe the northwest suburbs, getting some patchy dense fog in some areas, should be out of here by about 9:30 or 10 a.m. Here's the futurecast. Dry. Saturday looks like the better day of the weekend, a little more sunshine for you. Then by Sunday, we're watching the timing of the next front very closely. It looks like it comes in late on Sunday night. Now, the Bears are playing at Soldier Field, and as this front comes in, it'll be a close call whether we see sprinkles before the end of the game or not. So that's one thing to watch if you're headed to the game or if you have late weekend plans. Looks like rain stays away for now.
First on Fox Chicago News tonight, pull out the shovels, gas up the snowblower, and get out all that salt. The snow is a-coming. Live Power Doppler is tracking a heavy winter storm, and this one is shaping up to be wicked. We're not talking 1 or 2 inches here, but more than a ½ foot is going to fall before all is said and done.
So tomorrow's morning commute's going to be bad. The evening commute's going to be even worse. Chief Meteorologist Amy Freeze is tracking this storm. Hi, Amy.
Good evening to you. We do have the storm in range right now. As it moves in, the snow will be light at first, but by the time you wake up, heavy snowfall across the area. Let's get right to the pictures on the storm analysis machine. We're tracking the storm as it moves in. You can see it's making its way towards the western suburbs. What I'm going to do is put the storm analysis machine in the 1-hour futurecast mode. So you'll see within the next hour, snow is in the Aurora area in the western suburbs, also into central Will County. We're also tracking heavy snow. This is the snow machine, which isolates the heaviest bands, which are now well south of Chicago, making their way into Peoria. So when the snow gets going, it will be light at first, but those heavier bands making it in the early dawn hours. So snow will be sticking on the grounds by the time you wake up. Here's a look at the winter storm warning. Everybody included in this one, and it's significant snowfall. Future weather has the snow continuing all day long tomorrow, right through the afternoon, including when kids are getting out of school. Snow continuing through the evening hours, and blowing and drifting snow is a real possibility through the late evening hours. And the latest information shows this storm stalling out and continuing into parts of the day on Friday. Now, the 48-hour snowcast shows a blanket of snow across the entire Midwest, and Chicago does have some very heavy snowfall expected in this one, a ½ foot for everybody, and some parts of the area getting up to a foot. Here's what to expect. Snow developing, both commutes affected tomorrow, and bitter cold to follow. I have new information in on the snow totals and those bitter cold temperatures. It's ahead in the full forecast.
All right, thank you, Amy. Western Iowa, meanwhile, is already getting slammed.
And if we're going to look like this, right here, there's the picture. It's going to mean headaches. Here's Sioux City, which is along the Iowa-Nebraska.
Okay.
Hope for a big family.
We'll make quick work of it, okay?
Yeah, this is going to be a big storm, and hopefully you can shovel in little bits throughout the day. I know some people will be at work and they won't be able to do that, but this is one of those storms that if you can take care of it as it comes, that'll be the best case scenario because it will stack up quickly. It is a light, fluffy snow, but there will be plenty of it. It's going to stack up quick. Let's get started tonight from the Shed Aquarium, looking back over the city, the quiet before the storm. We do have the snow in range, though, on Live Power Doppler tonight. We'll be tracking this online as it moves in at myfoxchicago.com. Not just Live Power Doppler, but there's also a live chat you can check out as well. Within the next hour, light snow will be in the far western suburbs, and it will continue across the entire area tonight into tomorrow and parts of Friday. Temperatures are plenty cold for snow, and the temperatures will play a role in how this snow affects your commutes on both ends. The colder the surfaces, the harder it is to treat, and so they will be doing double duty around here, trying to keep the roads clear. A lot of the side streets likely will be snow-packed by tomorrow afternoon, as this will be very cold, dry snow that sticks to the surface quickly. Temperatures are going to be cold for the next several days, but behind the storm system, our daytime highs could be less than the current temperature of 14 degrees. So bitter cold comes in behind this one. It's an Arctic blast that's going to affect much of the country. All right, tracking the storm tonight on satellite and radar. Here it is, a big bunch of moisture coming in. It's a large area, and the storm will stall out as it makes its way into Chicago. It's been moving pretty quickly across the plains, but once it gets here, there's another storm system that's pushing back, and that force will keep the storm over us even longer than Thursday night, probably into Friday morning for parts of the area. One of the tools we use to find out the heavy snow, we call it the snow machine on storm analysis, and the areas in pink are the heaviest bands of snow. So right now, the heavy bands are tracking over Peoria, but we're expecting this part of the storm system to come in overnight tonight. As it does so, a couple inches of snow on the ground when you wake up, but the storm will be far from over. On the futurecast, once again, pink, heavier bands of snow. Watch what happens once we get into Thursday night and Friday morning, a few bands right along the lakefront, and that's where we're expecting it to really stack up. So just because the snowfall by midday tomorrow isn't that impressive, the storm isn't quite done yet. This is the high definition futurecast showing us the same thing. Heavy bands of snow coming in through the mid-morning hours tomorrow, a few heavy bands through the afternoon, and then late Thursday night into Friday. Those bright pink bands working right over Chicago and the Cook County area. This is giving us a higher degree of confidence that there will be heavy snowfall right along the lakefront. Here are the latest on the amounts. About 9+ inches in and around the Cook County area. This is different than the last couple of storms we've had where the western suburbs got more than the Chicago area. A big storm for the city, the biggest that we've seen in several years around here. Further back into the northern and western counties, you'll still get plenty of snow, more than a ½ foot for everybody across the board. Further south in central Will County near Joliet and back to Ottawa, about 5 to 7 inches for you. Now over on the other side of the lake in northwest Indiana, it's the lake effect that's really going to nail you late Thursday into Friday, where you could get an additional foot of snow. LaPorte, Porter County, these places have been hit really hard with lake effect over the last couple of days, and that's going to continue for you again with this storm. The forecast now taking us into Friday. Little bit of snow continues into the early morning hours on Friday. Likely the commute will still be a little sticky on Friday morning. Temperatures, however, will be very, very cold behind this. A fresh blanket of snow will allow temperatures to be below zero. Over the weekend, we're in the teens. 12 degrees on Saturday, 19 on Sunday. Fresh blanket of snow is only going to exaggerate the cold around here. The wind chills could go down to 20 below again because the winds are going to pick up behind this storm system. The good news is down the stretch next Wednesday, back
30.
to the 30s.
I still don't see anything north of freezing, though.
Yeah, not yet, but it is in the 10-day trend. The pattern is really going to be shifting for the middle of the month. This is one storm system that you're going to have to get through and likely going to cause a headache for a lot of folks tomorrow. It'll look pretty as it comes down. It'll look like a snow globe.
We'll get through it
But,
together.
to work it.
Yeah.
We are on storm watch this afternoon on a day of steady snow falling across the entire Fox Chicago viewing area, and it is not over yet. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Robin Robinson. Chief Meteorologist Amy Freeze has been tracking this storm. Amy, what is the update?
The latest is as the storm spins back, we will see additional accumulations, especially for the city of Chicago and all lakefront areas. Here's the storm right now. You can see these bands just now working their way off Lake Michigan. Also, some of that snow that's over Milwaukee right now will be spinning back in our direction. This will create additional snowfall of up to 1 inch an hour, so that'll be happening after 6 o'clock tonight. We're sticking with our snowfall amounts, about 4 inches on the ground in downtown Chicago, up to 8 or 10 before the snow is over by midday tomorrow. More online at myfoxchicago.com.
And Amy, we will have another live update for you viewers in about 15 minutes. And for instant conditions, and as Amy mentioned, Fox Live powered Doppler anytime. You can go to the weather tab at myfoxchicago.com. I'm Robin Robinson. Again, we'll be back in about 10 minutes with more.
Meteorologist Amy Freeze with a live weather update. Here's the latest on our winter storm. There's still intense lake effect snow that will be coming through the Chicago area. Outside right now, some limited visibility with a fine light snow that will continue until about 6 o'clock tonight. Then the lake effect bands. Here's the latest on our projections for snowfall. Still about 8 to 10 inches expected along Chicago. That's snow total, so it could double what you already have on the ground. More online at myfoxchicago.com. Meteorologist Amy Freeze with a live weather update. Here's the latest on our winter storm. There's still intense lake effect snow that will be coming through the Chicago area. Outside right now, some limited visibility with a fine light snow that will continue until about 6 o'clock tonight. Then the lake effect bands. Here's the latest on our projections for snowfall. Still about 8 to 10 inches expected along Chicago. That's snow total, so it could double what you already have on the ground. More online at myfoxchicago.com. Live from the Weather Watch Center, meteorologist Amy Freeze here. The latest on the storm is we have some lake effect snow bands moving in. This is what's going to create some very intense snowfall within the next couple of hours. Also, what's coming down from Milwaukee, that's what comes in overnight tonight. So more snow to come. This is the future radar. The next hour, watch how these bands fill in, and across the area, we're going to see more intense snowfall through the evening hours. Additional accumulations, especially at the lakefront. Here's what we're looking at overnight. Just an inch or so if you're well to the southwest, but closer to the lakefront, 4, even 5 inches into northwest Indiana. Full forecast tonight on the news.